In this episode, Celine, Blue, and I talk about the party game genre, what our take is of the genre, the types of party games we've played, and our top 3 favorite party games. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 6 of OnDeck, a podcast about tabletop gaming in the Philippines and an offshoot of our hobby Instagram account, the Boardgamer PH, where we take pictures of and talk about our board game sessions. If it's your first time listening to us, welcome to the show. My name is Glory and I host this podcast. I am sometimes joined by my friends who also love talking about board games. So for this episode, I am joined by, again, Blue and Celine from episode 3. Say hi, guys.
Hello. Hi, we're back.
So
You've been
before
waiting for us.
So before we go to our main feature topic, let's just briefly talk about a couple of games that the three of us have recently played. So we recently played at one of our friends' house and we didn't really have a lot of time because we spent most of the time eating.
Yeah, sarap ng pagkain.
Okay, so
Shout out to the Marin's family.
shout out to the Marin family.
Sarap po ng pasta. Ay, wala palang pasta. Yung tahong.
So we only got to play 2 games, but both of them are new games. Even I haven't played them. The first one is Hail Hydra. Hail Hydra is a semi-cooperative social deduction game for 5 to 8 players from Spin Masters Limited. In this game, the players are SHIELD agents trying to save New York City by fighting different villains. This is done by placing attack cards face down, which hopefully totals to the health of the particular villain. But since it's a semi-cooperative game, there are some Hydra agents amongst you that place negative cards to negate the attack cards. You can then vote to take out some players from a stage and play moves along in this manner. If New York City is destroyed, Hydra agents win. If all villains are defeated, SHIELD agents win. So what did you guys think about this game?
I like it. I don't love it, but I like it.
Actually, medyo mayabang si Blue about this game. Feeling niya sobrang galing niya.
Well, sobrang galing ko. Nanalo ako. All 3 rounds
It's
Guys.
a team game! How can you win?
Yeah, pero parang feeling ko binuhat ko yung teams ko eh. I really think that.
So I'm
Note the dead silence.
But hello, nanalo kami.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, fine. Magaling ka nga.
Magaling ako
I have
doon,
to
to be
concede.
fair.
I can't believe you're conceding.
No, but magaling talaga siya dun eh.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Marvel. So, hindi ko siya masyado naintindihan. But I think it was fairly easy. The rules were fairly easy to understand.
People are gonna freak that you said you're not a Marvel fan.
Yeah, hindi. Pero ang maganda yung endgame, to be fair.
Shout out to Endgame.
Sobrang galing ng pagkagawa.
So I'm also not personally, I'm also not a Marvel hardcore fan. But I was curious about this game because of the review. So this is actually one of Tom Vassel's favorite social deduction games.
Wait lang, gusto ko yung kinwalify mo na not hardcore.
Yeah, not a hardcore fan, but
Pa-
I am a fan.
Para hindi ma-turn off sa mga taong fans.
I am a fan also. Not hardcore, but hindi rin super pahapyaw lang.
But are you a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe or the comics?
Definitely cinematic universe.
So- so
I'm
wala
not even
kang-
gonna pretend.
So wala ka masyadong alam sa comics.
Wala.
Kasi you would notice that the artwork of Hail Hydra is actually very comics, di ba? Medyo comic siya. Hindi siya movie IP based. So I personally love social deduction games because of their ability to convert new gamers. I've talked about this in episode 4. So this is supposed to be a better version of Battlestar Galactica or Shadows over Camelot, which are both parang standard siya in terms of a longer social deduction game. Have you played that?
No.
Hindi
No.
pa natin
Never.
nalaro, no? Parang
No.
I don't recall the names.
No, I personally don't have both of those games. They're quite older. So this is supposed to be the new iteration of that game. It reminds people of Battlestar Galactica a lot. But I was thinking din kasi, because I was already considering getting Shadows over Camelot. But I was thinking that this IP is more appealing to the people I usually play with. Diba? Because it's Marvel, so like a lot of people can relate.
Actually, when we were playing this game, after we played this game, ang iniisip ko, it's like King of Tokyo, but better. Kasi ayoko ng King of Tokyo. Parang yun, bakbakan lang. Pero ito kasi may option ka na Hydra agent ka pala. Kasi sa King of Tokyo, basta whoever is inside Tokyo, yun lang yung papatayan eh. So walang parang element of surprise and strategy. Because it's just really luck. Dice game yun. But this one, parang mas a bit more complicated. And I prefer this one.
What
Yeah.
exactly about Hail Hydra reminds you of King of Tokyo?
Yung parang meron kang papatayan na villain. Pero sa...
Gets. But the villain here is actually not controlled by a particular person.
Yeah, it's a common villain.
Okay, gets. Okay.
Malabo ba?
Medyo. Okay lang. I also found it very fun and easy to teach. Well, nung una
And
medyo
fast.
it was
I like that it was fast.
it was fast. I mean, it's not as kasi sa Avalon for example, sobra kayong tatagal kapag just going on a mission like sino, 'di ba? But this one it deletes that. It removes that element kaya mabilis siya.
Tsaka mabilis siya dahil magaling yung naglalaro.
Okay.
I mean, yung nanalo.
Okay. So I also really like this game. I love alam mo yung may option yung bad people to just say Hail Hydra. That was really interesting for me. It kasi kapag ikaw, kunwari naglalaro ka ng Avalon and then hindi ka napili for a mission, wala ka nang gagawin, nakatanga ka na lang dun, 'di ba?
And actually, sometimes, kaya yun sa Avalon or yung Deception, diba, I told you, some people actually make it a strategy na nire-reveal nila na they're the bad guy just to mess up the gameplay or the game dynamics. Remember?
Yung friend ng brother mo.
Na parang, I'm the murderer and I say, this is the weapon or this is the weapon. And then sobrang na mindfuck sila na parang, oh my gosh, are you really the murderer? Kasi, or nagpapretend ka lang, or yan ba talaga yung weapon, or, diba?
Yeah.
So at least this na-eliminate yung ganong factor.
Okay, next game is Camel Up. Camel Up is a roll and move betting game for 3 to 8 players from Eggertspiel. So in this game, you basically try to have the most money. That's how you win. So money is won by placing bets on which camel will be ahead at the end of a particular round and eventually at the end of the race. You do not control any particular camel, unlike in Downforce, where you control a particular car. So you focus on betting on who will be the winner or overall loser. The camels are moved by the result of a dice placed in a dice pyramid, and if they land on the same spot as that occupied by another camel, they go on top of that camel. And the camel below the stack, when it moves, it brings all the other camels on top of it. So, how did you guys find this game?
I like that game.
Camel Up.
Yep. It's a betting game, I think.
Yeah, it's more of a betting game than a
but
racing
the rules
game.
are medyo mahirap siya.
At first,
Yeah.
yes, especially since I didn't do my job as a game master and I didn't study the game beforehand. Pinop ko lang yung pieces, sinleave ko lang yung cards, but I didn't study the game. I know. I was a bad game master.
It's okay.
So I essentially
I still had fun.
Medyo matagal nga lang yung processing ng rules.
yes,
Matagal.
I
Mahirap
basically
yung rules.
read the rules to them. Okay.
Pero ang ganda ng components.
Yes, very
May
nice
pyramid pa
components.
kaya.
So what I love about this game is that it looked like so many things were going on, but actually it's quite simple with one overlying principle. The one who makes the correct bet first gets more money. Yun lang. That applies to both the round betting and the end game betting. It balances it kasi para maging mas sure ka, kailangan mong makita yung results ng dice. Pero pag naghintay ka na masyado matagal, konting pera na lang yung makukuha mo. Kasi the stack is composed of 5 coins, 3, 1, 1, 1. So kapag masyado kang matagal mag-bet, hindi mo makukuha yung pinakamataas. And some people, pwede hindi sila sure pero chumamba sila.
Or they earn through pushing the game forward. they do the pyramid thing.
Yeah, yes. But that's
Yeah.
just one point anyway.
Tsaka gusto ko yung Crazy Camel.
Yes.
So, niya change yung game.
Yes, yung paatras. It actually happened to us. I didn't think that it would happen, but apparently nangyari sa amin yung Crazy Camels. So I also love the components. Do you know that this game is actually a second edition?
Ano yung itsura na first?
The first one, I think hindi siya ganun kaganda. It's 2014 and it won the Spiel des Jahres.
Which is?
It's like the family game of the year in 2014. You know what it beat? You guys will be interested.
Maghuhula ba kami?
Sige, hula kayo.
Don't say acquire.
No. Relax.
It's my OG.
Avalon.
No.
Wait, wala bang clue? Sobrang daming board games.
You guys both like this game.
Splendor.
Yes.
Splendor? No way.
Yes, it beats Splendor.
No. It does not beat Splendor.
It beats
Sobrang
Splendor.
ganda ng Splendor eh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ganda ng Splendor.
How do you like this compared to Downforce?
I like this better.
You like this better?
Yeah.
How about you, Blue?
I'm not so sure. Parang mas gusto ko yung Downforce because of the simplicity. Pero this one kasi maganda dahil madaming elements.
Mm-hmm.
Parang it's not just betting and... Well, it's betting and racing, pero may way ka kasi to move it forward.
Plus may
In your
chances
favor.
Di ba parang limited amount of dice?
Yes.
lang.
May luck factor talaga siya. I feel like there's room for both in your collection. I feel like Downforce is more of a racing game. The betting element to it can enhance your chances to win if you don't win the racing part. This one is not really a racing game for me because you actually don't control any particular camel. You just bet on them.
Parang,
Yes.
yeah, tama. Parang racing si Downforce, tas this one is more betting and luck.
Yep.
Which I didn't get nung una.
Kasi,
Akala ko parang, okay, ako si green or ako si yellow.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
no,
yeah,
wala.
yeah. Apparently,
Hindi.
you're not
Uh-uh.
anyone. You're not any particular
Kasi si
one.
Downforce may strategy involved eh. Yung parang how to block the other cars.
Mhm.
Tsaka depends on the cards you have.
Okay, so with that, those are the games that we've played together recently. Let's now go to our feature topic. Today's feature topic is all about party games. Oh, by the way, before we start, shout out lang, meron kaming producer right now.
In the room with us.
Shout out to Carlos Marin.
Woo!
Pinakain niya kami.
Yeah, ng hindi pasta.
Yeah.
Yeah,
tahong.
Ng tahong.
Shrimp
And
tsaka
kalyos.
kalyos.
Okay, so si Marin ngayon ang aming our record button pusher.
Yeah.
Or fan ni Celine.
So helpful. Number
Okay.
1 fan.
Okay,
Please
so
include that.
so the first question is actually, what is a party game? And before you start, Celine, I want to quote a definition I found from Board Game Geek.
It's the same one I found.
I know,
Yeah.
so let me just read it.
Bakit unahin natin yung definition? Hindi natin mag-blurt out na answers natin before checking the definition.
Sige, ikaw na lang, Blue.
Actually, alam ko din.
Do you see
Research
how
ko din.
she is very competitive?
Okay, so party games are games that encourage social interaction. They usually have an easy setup and rules and can accommodate large groups of people and play in a short amount of time. So apparently, even before I started playing designer board games, if I go by this definition, I've actually been playing party games a lot. So, favorite game ko dati yung Taboo. Alam niyo ba yun?
Yup.
Yes.
Everyone knows Taboo.
Yeah, I love Taboo.
Right? So, even other parlor games or drinking games can qualify as a party game. Like Never Have I Ever, Pinoy Henyo, categories,
Yeah.
diba? And actually, Pinoy Henyo, for example, has been made into a board game, which is Werewords or Insider.
Finger of Death.
No. Well, that's a dexterity game. We'll go into dexterity
Pero
games
yung
later.
flip sa
Heads up.
heads up.
Those are party games because it encourages social interaction, and usually there's no player count limit. Diba? Never Have I Ever, you can play it with anyone. Kahit 50 kayo, tigi-isa kayo ng Never Have I Ever, diba?
Mhm.
And so is Taboo. Because Taboo, you just have to split into teams and kahit ilan kayo dun sa team na yon. Because at the end of the day, only one person calls out the clue.
Meron tayong nilaro before na hindi taboo but something like that.
Reverse charades.
Yeah.
Yes. Reverse charades.
charades.
That's fun.
Party games are something for me that you can play even with people who will never ever play other board games. Diba? Because social deduction, for example, which I already mentioned this in the previous episode, na it usually is very successful in converting new gamers into the hobby. But party game, you can play it with your mom or your dad or your
Yep.
grandparents or even your bosses, which we've done previously. And you will never ever convert them into playing designer board games, but they will play a party game.
Mhm.
Right.
I'm
Meron
not
din
sure
akong-
kung yung mga pinili ko nagko-fall under that category.
Wait, mamaya na yan.
I'm just saying, iba yung party games ko.
Okay.
Meron
okay.
akong different definition for a party.
Okay,
game.
go.
Na-realize ko lang.
Okay, what is your definition?
Ito yung mga games that get funner with more alcohol.
Oh.
Because kapag normal, complicated games, like Acquire, yung mga time stories, you can't play that with alcohol.
That's
like,
true, that's
basically, you can't magiging physically unable ka to play.
So basically, yung mga games na lagi mo sasabihin, ang sarap nito laruin pag lasing.
Yes!
Like
That's a
what?
party game.
Okay. Okay, give us an example.
My top 3. I'll tell you guys later.
Okay. So, there was actually a boom in board games when Cards Against Humanity came out. Parang this is a tried and true definition of an example of a party game, Cards Against Humanity. Because it felt fresh, it was accessible, and it handled even a big player count. I'm not sure, but I think it handles up to 10 players, if I remember correctly. But I'm sure I've played it with more people.
Yeah, kasi you just get more expansion kits, di ba?
Yep. Kaya siya nag-boom kasi it didn't feel like it was something you would play in a reunion, yet it felt like a party game. It was so easy to understand. Parang kung sino yung pinaka nakakatawa siya yung panalo. That's it.
See, and not fun without alcohol.
Yes, that's true. It's very fun with
My
alcohol.
definition holds up.
And I also noticed, like, for example, with Cards Against Humanity, or even with, well, not reverse charades. Reverse charades, points matter. But party games, usually, points don't matter. Parang you play it for fun. You
Yep.
play it as an experience.
Okay, hindi talaga party games yung pinili ko. They're party games for
I
me.
can't wait to hear your choices.
Okay, so because of this broad definition, there are so many types of games that can be considered as a party game, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, social deduction. Is it a party game?
No, because mahirap yung rules.
That's true. I get that. But for me, maraming social deduction games that can handle a big count,
Tama.
right?
Yeah.
For example, Bang the Dice game, Avalon,
Avalon.
Coup with the Reformation expansion,
Yeah.
which goes up to 12 players, Hail Hydra, Deception Murder in Hong Kong. Are these party games?
Sige, sabihin mo na lahat ng mga party games ko.
Oh!
You missed one though, but whatever.
I love Deception.
I can't believe you spoiled it for us.
What?
Okay.
Hindi ko alam
Dami-dami
which
kayo.
one.
So basically, social deduction ang party game sa'yo.
Not all. Maybe, hindi ko rin sure.
Okay, so yes, that's true. I agree that to some extent, social deduction games can be considered as party games. Yun nga. It really encourages social interaction. You end up accusing people. You try to check whether they are the bad guys, 'di ba? So it really encourages social interaction. It usually handles a big player count. But yes, it's not that easy to teach. Okay, next type, word games. Word games, example nito, code names, reverse charades, time's up.
Oh, Time's Up is definitely a party game.
Yes. And for me, this is actually, ito yung mas party game. Ito talaga yung may isip na mo na party game. You're usually divided into teams and you try to have the most points out of all the teams. Diba?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, word games are definitely party games because it handles a big player count and it also encourages social interaction. Mixed. What about mixed games? For example, where words? When I dream. Where I dream. When I dream, yes. When I dream. Mixed because pareho silang social deduction and word games.
When I Dream is the one with the Sandman.
Yes.
Ooh, that was fun also.
Pero yes, do you consider that as a party game?
Pwede.
There are weird ones that others really consider as party games, pero hindi ko alam kung saan ko sila ilalagay. Example, Say Anything, Cards Against Humanity, Balderdash. Is this even a party game? It only handles up to 6 players. Dixit, is this even a party game? I mean, it can handle up to 12 players, but is it a party game?
It is for me.
Balderdash is definitely a party game.
Okay.
Don't even say anything bad about Balderdash.
Okay, because I think Balderdash is in her list.
I love
Yung Jenga ba?
Balderdash.
Party game?
Well, that goes into the next one, which are dexterity games. Are these party games?
Yes.
Big player counts. Yes, it handles big player counts. Flick 'em up. Not so fast. Fun farm. Jenga.
Not So Fast is also a party game.
Oh my God. I know their list now. They're just defending their choices.
But it is.
Okay, so for me, all of these games can be considered as party games. Board gaming in itself is already a social experience. So usually, if it handles a big player count, unless tahimik kayo, even telestrations na tahimik kayo, di ba? Nagdo-drawing lang kayo. It usually encourages social interaction because pag nakakuha ka ng weird na drawing, papagalitan mo yung tao beside you kasi parang, ano ba yan? Ano ba yan drawing mo? Di ko maintindihan. So, it really, most of these games, they really do encourage social interaction. For me, a party game, ang clear definition is whether or not it can handle a big player count. Yun yung mas nagde-define sa akin of what a party game is. And if it's easy to teach. Because when I get a party game out of the shelf, it's usually with the intention of playing with a lot of people, and inaasahan ko na not all of those players are people that I usually play games with. So, social deduction, medyo iffy for me. Except Avalon, because I think Avalon is so easy to teach. But the others, like for example, Deception, parang nahihirapan ako to qualify it as a party game because it's not that easy to teach.
Yeah.
Ako, I agree with the definition of board game geek. It should be, parang encourages social interaction. It's fairly easy to teach. Yun ba yung pangalawa niya?
Yes.
And can accommodate a lot of players.
Yes. It also needs to be easily set up.
Yeah, yun yung consideration ko when I picked my top party games.
Talaga, tignan natin mamaya.
Ako hindi, actually. Ako yung rules. Yun yung number one consideration ko when it comes to party games. Kasi, for me, yun yung what sets party games apart. Yun nga, na parang anyone can play it. Hindi obstacle yung rules for the person to play. Kasi yun, I think, is the number one, I don't know, feeling ko, it's the number one turn off ng mga tao na complicated rules from
I agree.
designer board games. So, party games, you bridge that gap, diba? Na parang, okay, no rules. Halos no rules at all.
But I think helpful din pag magaling yung moderator.
Yeah.
Kasi ako, personally, I hate reading rule books. So I just rely on Glory to like,
Thanks, ah.
Yep.
to teach me the
No, but
game.
you are good at it.
Oh my God, nabola pa ako.
No, totoo.
Hindi, pero
Blue, can you
totoo,
agree with me?
sobrang laki ng difference na nag-prepare ka to teach it saka sa hindi.
Yes, I know. Okay, so I have a couple of experiences with playing a big party game with a lot of people. So a bigger group means 30-something lawyers. We played Werewolf
That was
Deluxe.
insane.
Werewolf Deluxe can be played up to 75 players.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Really? Nahirapan na nga tayo ng mga 40 lang tayo.
Yes, so
Hirap nun.
the difficulty here was that I was not confident that I would be able to sustain everyone's attention. Isipin mo, 40 people yon, and everyone, parang most of the people were a bit sleepy na parang, lalaro pa ba tayo ng game? And then magtuturo ka bigla ng isang social deduction game, diba? That was my difficulty. And also, I wasn't confident that they'd be able to understand the other characters kasi hindi lang naman yun werewolf, townspeople, and seer. Marami pa yung ibang characters. But since hindi na nga ako sure kung makasustain ko yung attention span nila, I just stuck to those 3 characters. And yun palang parang, ano daw gagawin?
Yeah.
It was successful in a different sense. It was because, yun nga, I was able to teach it to a bigger group. And naintindihan nila yung social deduction aspect, which is the more difficult part to teach. The next one I taught to these 40 lawyers was reverse charades. This was very fun. I mean, everyone is familiar with charades. Alam na nila yung mechanics of the game. I just had to prepare words kasi we couldn't use the normal reverse charades cards. We had to project it to the screen because nga, dami-daming tao. It was successful and it was very fun. I really love reverse charades. I think mas engaging kasi yung fact na sobrang daming taong nagpapahula and isang tao lang yung nanguhula versus the other way around, which is how normal charades is.
Mas maganda yun. Tsaka makikita mo yung iba-ibang interpretation ng mga nag-act out ng words. So parang I think that's the fun part of it.
And there were lasting memories. Like until now
Sobra.
Yeah,
As in, every time you mention this night, it comes back to me na parang, that was intense.
Yes. And
That was
Competitive din kasi
intense.
kami lahat.
And you remember how people were. I mean, what they were doing. That was so funny that night. And it's still funny until now. So, I think, yes, that was also very successful. So, if you're hosting a big party game, I suggest that the moderator does not join the game because kapag ganito, tendency is kapag naging competitive na yung mga tao, well, lucky for me, everyone was competitive. So, the energy was high. But the downside there is that you need to make sure that you don't appear partial to any team because pwede talagang magkapikunan. And I also suggest that if you're moderating a big party game, you get help from a couple of people so that you get to moderate it effectively.
So, sobrang taas na energy dahil competitive yung mga tao. Pinagalitan si Glory.
Yep, pinagalitan na lang ako sa mga boss ko, nagagalit na lang sa akin
It's
kasi
an intense, serious.
Kasi
My
bakit daw yung
God.
time ng iba mas mahaba kaysa sa kanila pero pare-pareho lang naman na 1 minute or something.
yes. So it's a difficulty for me every time planning SEM namin kasi nasistress talaga ako kasi alam kong papagalitan na naman ako.
Pero I think lesson din yun na you took a risk by introducing those games, especially Werewolf. Parang it could have easily gone like south. Pero, di ba, worth it in the end to parang pagtyagaan mo rin yung mga tao you're playing with. Kasi mahirap talaga yung role of a moderator.
That's
Tsaka
true.
I think for the other players then na hindi naman talaga naglalaro ng party games or ng board games, natuwa sila and they remember
Yep.
these games.
Mm.
So the next game that I want to try with a bigger group is Two Rooms and a Boom. So basically there are two teams and mag-exchange kayo ng members and try mong ipasok yung parang terrorist mo. Something to that effect.
Hindi pa natin nalalaro.
Hindi
Pero ang
pa.
tagal mo nang meron nito, diba?
Yes, I've had this game for a long time. I just haven't found the right time to bring it out because you need around 20 or plus people to play it. Okay, so with that, we'll now go to our top 3 party games. For me, it was so hard to pick, honestly. Ang dami kong gustong ilagay sa list ko and therefore meron akong 2 runner-up.
Kadayaan.
Libra. Libra
Yep.
tendencies.
Stretching
Cannot
the
decide.
rules.
Pero siya yung nagpilit sa atin na mag-rank.
Yep.
Yep.
Pero siya may runner-ups.
Yeah.
I'm not
okay.
gonna rank.
Oh.
Sinasabi
What
ko na.
a rebel.
I'm not gonna rank.
Whatever, basta, we will take it as it is. So, kung ano yung una mo sabihin, that's your number 3.
No, do not believe that. Basta, I can't rank them. It's just too difficult.
I rank this personally based on their social interaction capability. I'm just putting it out there. So,
Ako funness.
funness. Okay.
So may rank ka na din.
Hindi. As in, kung paano ko pinili yung top ko is based on funness.
Okay, so funness.
Okay, my number 3 party game is The Mind, which I think...
Is that even a party
yes,
game?
it's a party game. Sabi ng Board Game Geek, it's right here.
Okay.
Type party. Because, although you talked about this game extensively dun sa episode nyo with sila Sheena,
Yes.
I
Episode
remember
5.
because sobrang love niya tong game na to.
Yep.
And love ko din just because this is one of those games na gets funner with alcohol. That night we played this was so fun because lasing na tayo lahat. We were Not really cheating. Kind of cheating.
Okay, let me explain. Do you want me to explain it? How we were cheating,
Sige,
quote
sige.
unquote cheating. So I know in the mind, you're not supposed to talk to anyone. So actually, hindi ko alam kung paano siya naging party game kasi you don't even interact with anyone. You're not supposed to talk to
Basically,
anyone.
the objective is you must place these cards, meron kang number cards, and into the center of the table on a single discard pile in ascending order. So 1 to 100, but you cannot communicate with one another in any way.
Exactly. Where is the social interaction there?
But sobrang fun.
Pag nilalakihan mo yung mata, hindi ba interaction yun? na
You
parang,
can't even
Yeah.
you can't even do that. But what we did was lasing na nga kami, wala na kami masyadong pakialam sa rules and we just wanted to win. So we were talking to one another. So ganito yung gagawin namin. Pag sinabi ko na super lapit, you have to assess kung sino yung mas malapit. So ang gagawin namin, sasabihin namin, super lapit, or super lapit. And we had
And
to
it
gauge
made
it
it
according to the intonation of your voice.
Sobrang mindless fun. Like, what I like about it is, yung rule is, okay, kailangan in order natin ibaba yung cards.
Yep.
Without
That's it.
actually telling people what cards you hold.
Yeah. Yeah.
So simple. I think you spoke about it matagal na sa last episode, so that's it. That's just my number 3. It's so fun.
Okay.
Yeah, fun siya. So feeling ko parang if you're looking to buy a party game, it's a good thing to have in your collection.
Okay, it's something, but what you have to consider is that the mine only goes up to 4 players.
Eh, bakit 6 tayo that night?
Because nga, wala na tayo masyadong pakialam sa rules.
So hindi siya party game pala. Party of 4.
Well, that's true. You can have a party of 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, one person can just sit out one game, then another person sits out another game.
It was fine when we were 6.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
Yeah,
I saw an explanation because I was looking at it and I was thinking, baka naman kaya siya up to like how many players. But parang it gets a bit difficult when you get up to the higher levels kasi kunwari, 6 kayo, tas lahat kayo may 6 cards. So 8 times 6 is 48. So that means only 52 cards are left unknown.
Tsaka mahirap yung madaming masyadong players. So parang mas mahirap magtansyahan kung ano ibababa.
That's true. Yeah, so okay, so good pick. I mean it's debatable. Some people might debate against it being a party game because nga lit lang ng player count and there's barely any social interaction because you cannot communicate with other players.
But there are no rules.
But I agree that it's very fun and actually it's the same yung sinasabi ko kanina na wala ka na masyadong pakialam sa points. Right? Because yes, it is. So maybe it is a party game. Okay, me naman. My
Yeah.
number 3 is Avalon.
Oh.
Classic. Classic.
So this is only number 3. Only number 3. Even if I personally really like the game. And I think it has the ability to convert new players. For me kasi, yun nga, I was saying this kanina, social deduction games, it's harder to teach new people and people na never at all maglalaro ng game. So, I have experienced a number of games where I lost the attention span of a particular player and that threw off the game. Or some people na wala lang talaga silang pakialam, so mandadaya sila, so kahit close your eyes, naka-open yung eyes nila.
Oh, yeah. Those people are the worst.
Yes, you people are the worst. Can't even follow a simple rule to close your freaking eyes.
Know when it is cheating and when it is strategy.
Yup. So, yun nga, parang it's so hard. I mean, lalo na if you're playing with non-gamers, ang tendency kasi talaga is manggulang. 'Di ba? And in some scenarios, that's okay. Kunwari, maglalaro ka ng charades. Fine, okay lang yun. Kasi, I mean, it's part of the game. It's just that kailangan mo bantayan. But this one can really throw a game away. 'Di ba? Pag mandaya ka, wala na yung game.
So pandaraya ba yung ginawa ng isa nating friend na tinext niya si Merlin? Merlin, ako si Percival.
Oh my God!
For me, hindi naman. I mean, it's bending the rules a bit, but
No, that was the... No,
it's like breaking the fourth wall.
you can't tell Merlin who's Percival.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's not supposed to know.
Is he not supposed to know?
I mean, you can try to convey na you're Percival.
Ako, like, kunwari katabi ko si Merlin, kakalabating ko siya. Na ako si
No,
Percival.
but then, nagpa-factor into yung decisions ni Merlin how to play the game?
No.
Di ba Percival helps Merlin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, para at least ito, alam na nila from the get-go na
But there's a
kampi
reason
sila.
why the game doesn't reveal Percival to Merlin.
That's true, na hindi sila sabay didilat.
Kasi malamang
agad.
it'll give them an advantage.
Like, kaya nga, so parang even during the game, kunyari sa experience ko, si Percival will still try to tell Merlin in some other way na siya si Percival.
Because actually,
yeah,
bahala na si...
pero not explicitly
Yeah,
through text.
tsaka na may risk ka, na mahuhuli ka.
Yeah, and by the way,
Yes.
also depende na rin kay Merlin 'yon kasi paano kung hindi naman talaga 'yun si Percival? Paano kung bad person
totoo,
lang 'yun?
totoo. Fine.
So anyway, Avalon, for me that's my number 3.
Ako, again, in no particular order.
Number 3.
Tapos again, hindi.
Number
Based to
3.
sa definition ko of what a party game is.
Number 3.
No, it's not number 3. Wala, I can't rank them. Stop forcing me to rank them.
Number
Dixit.
3.
It's not number 3. I love Dixit.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sure...
Is it a party game?
I think so.
Okay, why?
Kasi nga, sa definition ko, social interaction. It encourages social interaction. Yes. Why? Because you discuss, parang sometimes you argue with other people kung ano talaga yung card. Or like you try to dissuade them from picking another person's card. I think it encourages social interaction. Second, it's fairly easy. Para sa akin kasi hindi party game yung anyone can just play it. Parang kunya reverse charades, anyone can just play it.
That's a party game.
I know. But like for me, kaya nga nang pinili ko to, skinip ko na yung mga anyone can just play it.
Okay, so these are party games according to Blue.
Yun na nga. Yun nga yung sinabi ko based on my definition.
Okay.
Tapos ano yung number 3 ko na definition? Sa
Um,
definition.
Big player count.
Yeah. Ilan to? Hanggang 12, di ba?
Dixit Odyssey goes up to 12. Okay, let's now go to number 2. I go first. My number 2 party game holds a special place in my heart because this is how I got to know Celine. So this game is Never Have I Ever.
Oh, she's such a fan of this game.
Let me explain. I've been playing Never Have I Ever forever without the actual board game. So when I went to the States and I went to Barnes and Noble and nakita ko na there's an actual board game na Never Have I Ever, I instantly got it. Although the thing with Never Have I Ever, the board game is medyo American yung humor niya.
Yes.
Diba?
Like Cards Against Humanity.
Like Cards Against
Like
Humanity.
Cards Against Humanity.
Kaya sa Cards Against Humanity, actually, hinihiwalay ko yung masyadong American humor and may mga American stores and IPs and brands. I remove them because hindi makaka-relate yung mga tao. Also, with Never Have I Ever, medyo may mga American humor siya. But, you know, I mean, there are still a lot of great cards there. So, I really love this game. So, I played this game with my office mates. So, first, inuman ni Celine yun dito sa office.
Yes.
and it really like one of my favorite memories yun here in the office because there was a mix of new people, old people, even some of our bosses were there.
It was my first week and I was discovering yung mga things like,
yeah, I mean, you know,
oh my God.
like the questions in Never Have I Ever are really like not safe for work.
First week, ha?
Yes, and we were discussing it through a game. But for me kasi, it really breaks down the borders. I mean, we're all adults here.
Yeah.
Even people who weren't really into that, they were having fun because you can see people really loosening up.
Yeah, it's nakakatawa pa dito. Meron kaming office mate na hindi umiinom. So, ang ginagawa niya, talagang kino-call out niya, oy, nakataas yung kamay ni ganyan. Oy, oy, uminom si ganyan.
Since it's a very big group and hindi mo na matatrack lahat ng tao na umiinom dun sa question, meron lang kaming
Police.
may isang police, may isang tracker kami. So, yes. So, for me, Never Have I Ever is really a tried and true party game. Whether you have the board game, you don't have the board game, whether you create your own questions, you get questions online, it doesn't matter. The important part is that you are with the right people who are willing to open up or to loosen up, who won't judge you. You'll feel safe, like, disclosing these very important questions. I mean,
Personal.
secrets. And ang masaya pa dito is, meron sa Never Have I Ever na card na parang pag napainom mo lahat, you get this superpower card. And you have the power to say to someone who drank, tell that story. And then that person has to disclose the details of that reveal, right? So it's really really fun, especially kapag napapainom mo lahat ng tao. Although sometimes medyo boring siya kasi parang
It really depends on the
siguro.
crowd, I guess.
yes, it depends on the crowd. Okay, so that's my number 2. Never have I ever.
Okay. Again, in no particular order, it's Bang the Dice game.
Yes!
I think tatanungin niya,
Another
is it a party
classic.
game? I think it can accommodate a lot of players. Bang the Dice game, the players are divided into 3 groups, randomly and secretly. So meron sheriff and the deputies, the outlaws, and the renegades. So basically, it's outwin and outlast.
Wow.
Wow! Parang Survivor! Ang goal ng deputy sheriff, tama, deputies, yeah, is to save the sheriff and make sure that he or she is the last person standing. The outlaws naman, yung goal nila is to kill the sheriff. And the renegades, yun talaga yung parang survivor. Kailangan mapatay niya lahat and siya yung any of the renegades yung matitirang buhay. So, it's a dice game. I haven't played the card game of this one.
No, I haven't either. I think Celine has.
So basically,
Bang.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a longer game, I heard.
It is longer, pero fun rin siya.
Tapos yung moves mo dito depends on the dice you roll. So,
Yahtzee style.
Yeah, Yahtzee style. Yes, so basically, dun mo makikita kung ilang bullets yung mahihit mo dun sa particular target. Tsaka madami siyang other gameplay and rules na depending on your character, which can help you achieve your goal kung ikaw si outlaw, sheriff, deputy, or renegade.
And like there's also a result of the die that gets you earn another life or hit everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And the expansion, the old saloon expansion, actually, yung unang mamamatay, ito kasi yung biggest downfall of the game according to some of the players na pag namatay ka na, wala ka nang ginagawa. And usually, kapag kunwari, 7-player game siya, pag namatay ka na, ikaw yung unang namatay, medyo matagal yung waiting time mo. So, ginawa nila sa old saloon expansion, may ghost.
Yeah,
Kaya
I
pala
remember that one.
Yes. So, yun yung ghost na pwede kang, you still roll, you're dead, you still roll, and you give a result, one result to your teammate.
Ako, I'm still not sure kung gusto ko ba yung may ghost aspect or wala. Parang for me, as a standalone game na Bang the Dice, the game, Bang the Dice game, okay na siya eh. Parang I'm not sure kung may na-add pa yung ghost.
Yeah. I don't mind the waiting. Namatay ka eh.
Yeah, tsaka lalo na kung fun yung other players na natitira.
Entertaining pa rin.
Yeah, entertaining pa rin nga.
But favorite moments ko of Bang the Dice game is when it's just the sheriff versus the renegade. That's my favorite because the renegades, they usually try to pretend to be the deputies, right?
Yeah.
So usually, kunwari, lalo na pag dalawa yung deputies tas isang sheriff, minsan binibigyan pa sila ng buhay. Kasi parang, diba?
Kawawa.
Kasi pag outlaw ka, parang usually it's, as in, kahit na alam mong outlaw din yung iba, hindi mo sila bibigyan ng buhay kasi unahin mo yung sarili mo.
Yeah, tsaka nakakatawa din yung pag si sheriff mamimili na lang sa 2 deputies pero isa doon renegade. As ang napatay pa niya yung deputy niya.
True, it has happened to
napatay
us.
kita before na.
Kahit na, I am the deputy.
Yung nagpa-plead ka pa na, no, deputy talaga ako.
So actually, this is one of our favorites, right?
Yes.
My board game group here in the office. This is one of our absolute
Classics.
Yes, this is one of our absolute favorites. Okay, Celine, let's now go to your number 2.
Na-realize ko pumipili ako ng party games based on yung amount of tawa ko pag piniplay natin tong game. And so, this has made it to the number 2 spot in my list. Yung Not So Fast /Fun Farm is so
/Fun
funny.
Farm, okay.
Kasi it's halos the same game. Like, you reveal cards and then may parang 6 little plushy toys or nuts in the Not So Fast na kapag nag-match dun sa revealed card, kailangan mo to make a grab for it. As in, literally will fight other people.
Kalmutan.
As in, yung fun farm na nalaro ko before, wala nang tenga yung isang pig. Ganun ka-violent. And parang maintindihan mo if you play it. And even Not So Fast, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
As in, sobrang wild na umiinom tayo. Tapos, we had to put the nuts on like another table. So, may takbo factor.
Yep.
Sobrang kawawa yung boys dito. Kasi pag
So-
yung girls nahaba yung nails.
Yep.
Wala.
Sobrang nakakatawa yung Fun Farm and Not So Fast. And sobrang simple lang.
Yep.
Na parang, it's just so fun. And you wouldn't think it would be fun, but guys, play Not So Fast and Fun Farm.
Fun Farm actually, it's one of the first few games na tinuro sa akin in one of the board game cafes. And mas straightforward siya for me than Not So Fast. Kasi it's a color of the dice and yung animal na pwede mong kunin with that combination is printed on the card. So it's really just a matter of matching the colors, diba? With Not So Fast, meron pa siyang aspect na i-add mo kapag more than 7 almonds, kukunin mo yung pistachio or whatever, like walnut yung kukunin mo. Diba? It's
May memory factor
may
pa siya.
memory, may math. Hindi siya math.
Memory.
Hindi siya. Hindi,
It's
kailangan mo.
math for me.
4 plus 4. 4 plus 4.
That's true. Bibilangin mo pa rin nga yung ano.
Ano yun?
But
4 plus
sobrang
3.
fun for me. As in,
I
when
agree.
we played it, both times, isa dito, diba? And isa nung planning. Both times, tawang-tawa ako.
Yep. As in,
As
meron
in-
kami,
So stupid, but it's so fun.
meron kami office mate na parang, so, nag-aagawan for the pistachio, for example. And then, nakuha na niya halos, pero yung isa kong office mate, talagang pinapry open yung kamay niya na parang, no, let it go!
Tsaka, funny yung mga lahat nag-go for pistachio, tapos may isang nag-miscalculate na it will go for the almond. Tapos parang, wala akong kalaman.
Mali yata ako.
Nakakatawa to.
Yeah, so,
I like it so
but just be ready to be a bit injured.
Tsaka, yeah, clear the area kasi
Clear
Dapat
sobrang
walang mababasag.
may mababasag, may
Yep.
masasaktan. Don't play with kids.
Kasi akala
Legit,
mo,
nagkaka-scratches kami on our arms.
yeah.
I guess depende naman pag kids and parents. Hindi naman siguro magkaka-scratches, okay? It's just that we're so competitive.
We are fine. Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree. This is, for me, kapag dexterity party game, definitely Fun Farm or Not So Fast. Okay, so that's Celine's number 2. Let's now go to our number 1s. We'll start with Blue.
Me? Ay, nako. Okay. Cool.
So that's your favorite party game?
One of my favorite.
Napansin nyo ba
party
na medyo puro social deduction yung...
Yeah.
Oo nga eh.
Kasi
Nung dinidiscuss mo
naisip ko
kanina yung
rin,
social deduction, parang
hindi
oh
ka
yeah.
ba magkakapikunan sa game na yan?
I don't know. I really enjoy these games eh.
Yan talaga yung strength ni Blue.
Okay.
Na-explain na ba natin to before? In
Yes,
our-
we've explained Ku.
Yeah. So, I like this kasi we played this in our recent beach trip. Tapos, hindi din sila masyadong naglalaro all the time. I mean, a couple of Glory's friends, they play board games talaga. Pero may iba na when we see each other lang. So, ito, parang na-enjoy namin kasi may interaction. Tapos, meron ding betrayal aspect. I think that's the part that I really like the most. Or outplaying the others.
Yeah. So I think ang favorite, ang gusto mo dito sa Ku na part is kapag may team aspect and then you can pay 1 coin to change your allegiance or 2 coins to change another person's allegiance.
For me nga, hindi na masyado important yung allegiance factor eh.
Ako,
Even
not
just
necessary.
on its own, Ku is fun.
Yeah.
That's true. Ku
Actually,
is fun.
noong una, ayoko to.
Yeah, I remember you didn't like this game
As in,
before.
first time I played it, I hated it. But then, I started playing it again. Tapos, na-realize ko, sobrang galing niya.
Yep. It's super simple and
Maganda yung artwork.
that's true.
Shout
Maganda
out to
rin.
the
It's
artwork.
very parang alam niyo yung Hunger Games vibe.
Mm.
Medyo ganun siya. The thing with Ku is the original game is the better game. They released a second edition which is Ku Reformation. And may iba-iba ng mix dun ng characters. But for me, tried and true talaga yung Ku original players eh. Okay, so Blue's number 1 is Ku.
Parang yun yung Avalon ko.
Okay.
I liked Avalon before, pero for me, nabobore na ako when lagi lang akong good. Pag nag-start na yung game, tas nakita ko yun yung card ko.
Sobrang opposite
Hassle.
natin. I hate being the bad guy. Hindi ako nabobore. Masyado akong kinakabahan.
She can't lie.
I can't lie. Or at least I'm not good. Kailangan sobrang focused ko.
Tapos
Yung
feeling ko
poker
pa
face.
mas fast-paced na than Avalon.
I think naman though, Avalon mo siguro yung Bang the Dice game. But ang maganda kasi sa Bang the Dice game, since konti lang yung players, it's not just bad guy versus good guy. It's really outlaws versus renegade versus sheriff. Ang daming chances na iba-iba yung characters mo, except for one of our friends na lagi lang siyang outlaw.
Si
As
Lara.
in,
Shout out to Lara.
Shout out to Lara. Hi, Lara. So, Lara is always the outlaw. If
Lara
you
the
ever,
outlaw.
if you ever play Bang the Dice game with Lara,
And you're a deputy sheriff.
or whatever you are, just remember that Lara is always an outlaw.
Yeah, so kung deputy ka, sheriff ka, or renegade ka, patayin mo agad.
Basta patayin mo lang si Lara kasi outlaw siya. Okay, so yun yung maganda sa Bang the Dice game versus Avalon, 'di ba, na iba-iba ka. Okay, so Celine, what's your number 1?
Number 1 ko lang to kasi kasi gusto ko lang
Diba
i-emphasize
Funness.
how much I had fun.
Okay.
Baldur Dash yan, no?
Oh my God! Boulder Dash!
Boulder Dash!
Yeah.
Kasi
Boulder Dash.
sobrang niyang, especially, I don't know, pero ito, kaya medyo nag-hesitate ako to add this to my top 3 party games. Kasi it really depends on the people you're playing with. Kung medyo boring yung mga kalaro mo, or
That's
parang
true.
not same wavelength of what's funny and what's not, hindi to masaya. Pero pag yung sakto lang kayo na magkaka-wavelength kayo, sobrang funny niya. As in, ito lang yung board game na I think naiyak talaga ako sa kakatawa.
That's true. And
It's nonsense.
it is nonsense. But the thing with Boulder Dash is you'll actually be surprised to the humor of some people.
Yep. Basically, it features compelling, unbelievably true content. Categories include people, words, initials, and movies. You have to make up phony definitions to read alongside the real answers. And the people vote kung ano yung totoo and ano yung hindi, diba? So, parang nakakatawa siya kasi as in yung questions niya parang, okay, what does fur mean?
Fur.
F-U-R. So, yung mga sinasabi ng mga tao, parang a type of mustache, flakes of dandruff, mga ganun. Na parang type of sea snail, edible. Diba? What
Ano yung tama
the
sagot?
heck is a fur? I don't know. Walang nakasulat dito. Pero, you have to convince people na parang, or hindi ba magko-convince? Or you have to
it's
guess.
It's random actually.
You have to
don't-
guess.
You don't know who wrote what.
Nakakatawa
Yeah.
din yung category
Sobrang
na
nakakatawa.
sabihin mo kung ano yung plot ng movie
Yeah!
based on the title. So talagang sometimes, hindi ako movie buff. So parang binabase ko lang yung story ko dun talaga dun sa movie title. And sometimes sobrang
As in,
random.
Nakakatawa if you play with funny people. Like, kasi yung question is, what is the plot of the movie? What is down there? Mga ganon.
Something down there.
Tapos parang yung mga tao, hell na yung naisip nila or parang basement ng isang lola. As in, nakakatawa siya.
It's very fun. And ang favorite ko dito is like, in Virginia, it is illegal to bring a goldfish blank. Diba? Parang some obscure, absurd law na actually totoo pala talaga
Yeah,
na yung mga laws na nakalagay dun sa cards. And you have to guess kung ano ba yung law na yon.
In Brazil, it is illegal to dance blank. Tapos yung kasagot na isa, slowly.
So kailangan lagi mabilis. Well, to be fair, mabibilis ang dance sa Latin America, diba?
To dance slowly.
So, ang masaya dito actually, it falls under the same category as mga Cards Against Humanity na parang you need to be the funniest. Or say
Yeah.
anything. You need to be the funniest. But the thing here is that the answers are given by the players. So, lumalabas talaga yung humor nila. Because they want to be convincing, but sobrang nakakatawa lang what they're thinking. Kasi nakikita mo yung psyche nila na parang ganyan ka pala mag-isip.
Blue, paano mo naisip yung plot na to?
Ano yun yung weighted something.
Yeah, parang
Nasa hell
what
siya.
weighs below?
What weighs below? Ano nga ba yung plot ko doon?
Parang,
Mataba siya.
oo,
when
mataba
she was
siya na
alive.
pumayat siya.
Pero nung nasa hell siya,
Parang ano,
Umayat siya.
shallow hal. Something like that.
parang Blue, paano mo to naisip?
So, it's really, 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 really fun. I agree. Parang, for me, Balderdash, there is a scoring mechanism. But for me, don't even follow it. Like,
I know, medyo ko, naglilito pa nga ako dun sa scoring.
Ako rin,
Pati
ako
dun sa
rin.
board. I mean, maganda yung itsura niya, ha? Pero yung mechanics na parang paikot-ikot pa siya.
yeah, parang for me, just don't follow it and just play a couple of rounds and have a laugh. And then that's it. So yes, I agree. This is a party game. It only goes up to 6 players. But what we did
played
was,
mga 12.
yeah, nag-pairs kami para makalaro up to 12 people. And sobrang nakakatawa talaga. Lalo na pag pinag-merge mo yung utak ng dalawang taong malabo.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So yeah, so that's Balderdash. Celine's number 1.
Mhm.
Oh man, so ngayon parang boring na yung number 1 ko. Okay, my number 1 is Time's Up. So, I really like...
was supposed to pick that too.
Yeah,
Ano nga ba yung time's up?
What we played in planning. Yung first round, para siyang taboo. You can't just say
yeah.
what's on the card. And then the second round, papahula mo using one word clue lang. And then the third round, you can't say anything anymore. So
we
it's...
played that.
Yeah, so it's really medyo memory game na rin siya to some extent. So it's a mix of charades and taboo. And it's team versus team. So it's usually really a great way to get people to interact kahit hindi mo kilala. Like I've played this with people na kaka-meet ko lang. When you get competitive, as in ang saya lang niya talaga. Especially kapag may memory aspect siya na, so pag kunwari hindi niyo pa turn, mag-huddle na kayo na. So pag ginawa ko to, ito yung word na yun. Pag ginawa ko to, ito yung word na yun. Parang it's really, really fun. Parang meron kaming word na malunggay. Malunggay. So parang, okay, pag pinindot ko yung boobs ko.
Talaga?
yeah, kasi nagpapalactate
breastfeeding.
yun. I was in a team with like majority boys. So it's really, really fun kasi tatry mo alalahanin kung ano pa yung hindi nahuhulaan actually. And tatry nyo nang mag-concoct ng ways para mapahula yung word na yun.
Pero wait, you have to explain bakit may malunggay. Inana natin, you didn't use the cards.
So what I did was, I actually don't have the game. I don't have the game. Time's Up, there's actually a Time's Up original.
Yeah, we had that yung sa isang board game group ko.
And a Time's Up title recall. So it's mostly made up of titles. So what we did was, nagsulat kami ng mga book, a song, and a random thing. So 3 cards yon, and then ginumble namin, and then yun na yung set of cards namin. And nakakatawa sa last time na I played this with the bosses, merong isang movie na ang title niya ay Diligan ng Suka ang Uhaw na Lumpia.
Oh my God.
It's an 80s game. Ay,
movie. It's a Pinoy movie na sobrang obscure. So, ano yun, Diligan ng Suka ang Uhaw na Lumpia. So, paano mo papahula?
Pero may nakahula.
That's true.
Tsaka yung magsha-shout sila na parang,
And very accurate yung title. Parang, di ba? Parang pagkasabi niya, Diligan ng Suka ang Uhaw na Lumpia.
tsaka Totoy Mola.
Yeah.
Oo
Hello?
Yeah. So, masaya yun kasi parang what we did was, nag-include kami ng mga Tagalog movies na medyo obscure talaga.
Yeah, tsaka parang we ask everyone to submit their words, diba? Their entries sa yung movies, books, tsaka song.
Yeah.
So parang kasi hindi ko naman alam yung Suka Lumpia movie eh.
Diligan ng Suka ang Uhaw na Lumpia.
How many times?
So, yeah. So, this is a very fun game. I highly recommend it for anyone who will be moderating a game and they want to expand from charades or taboo or Pinoy henyo. I highly suggest looking into Time's Up and just doing your own thing, like just getting index cards, asking people to write on those index cards and using them as your cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun
Parang-
on Time's Up.
Parang kung ayaw mo gumastos, pwede naman na yun.
Yeah.
Kasi
Yeah.
yung mechanics can be
Yep.
easily used.
So, do you guys want to hear my runner-ups?
Sure.
Right.
Okay. My runner-up number 1 is Cards Against Humanity because it is the OG. I have all the expansions. Hindi ko lang siya mabenta, honestly. Kahit di ko na siya nilalaro.
Why?
Hindi ko siya mabenta because it's a gift. Most of the expansion, it's a gift.
Pero yung replayability sa akin ng Cards Against Humanity, medyo mababa.
That's true. That's true. And parang you have to really play it with the right group.
Yep.
Because people will get offended if, kunwari, you played with someone older, diba? Or like, mas may prinsipyo kesa sa'yo.
Tsaka madami like what we said earlier na American
Yes,
humor.
American humor.
Na hindi ko maintindihan.
Actually, I wondered why they haven't made a Pinoy version of this
Meron
one.
ata, di ba? Pero hindi yung official.
Yeah, I
Wait,
don't think
Google
it's official.
natin. Meron 2015. Now available for download for free.
Yeah, that's a print and play version made by someone.
Yeah.
It's not an official Cards Against Humanity.
Fan-made nga.
Oo, fan-made siya.
Tsaka ayoko din yung part na kailangan mong bumili ng expansions to
Refresh the game.
refresh the game. So ngayon, padami ng padami yung cards mo, pabigat ng pabigat, pero na-memorize mo pa rin kung ano yung mga lalabas.
That's true. Okay, my runner-up number 2 is Reverse Charades.
Yeah.
Because I really like this game na maraming nagpapahula, tas isa lang yung nanguhula. Kasi sometimes, meron kaming mga seamless way na parang, kunwari, ang word was bulletproof jacket. Tas parang tumingin lang kami dun sa isang tao and siya na agad yung babarilin. Tas everyone was like, di ba? lahat sila parang nag-act na binabaril nila yung person na yun. Tas yung person na yun, nag-gets lang niya agad. And like, it's really fun when you get into the groove like that. For example, kumari, rock band, and then someone will be playing the drums, and the other person will be playing a guitar, and parang that kind of rapport is really, really fun to build. But the thing is, I've already actually gotten rid of this game.
What?
Yeah.
Bakit di mo binenta sa akin?
It's with Kirby now.
Hmm.
Because I got rid of this game. Not because I don't like it. I really, really enjoy the game. But, na-memorize ko na yung words. So, sobrang galing ko na dito. As in, ultimo Jack in the Box. Alam ko may Jack in the Box.
Yeah, that's true.
Diba?
Alam mo nga yun.
Parang
Basta
masyado-
tumalon lang yung tao, Jack in the Box!
Yeah, alam ko na yung words eh. So, medyo limited kasi. I think they should have released an expansion earlier. But it's a fairly old game. So, until now, wala pa rin silang nire-release na expansion for it.
Feeling ko okay din na gawin siya na may app integration. Para at least
Yes.
na refresh or like biglang na shuffle mo talaga yung
Yep.
cards.
So, medyo heads up vibe.
yeah.
I just wanna say, sobrang bad ko mag-guess sa charades and sa Pinoy Henyo. I'm the worst guesser. Fun siya for me.
Oh yeah, you really suck at this game. That's right, I remember.
Reverse charades?
Yeah.
Guessing!
Oh, guessing,
But then, pag ako yung nagpapahula, sobrang galing ko.
Okay.
Buhatan ng bangko dito.
Pero yeah, you suck at this game.
Super sad.
I remember.
Parang, hello! Masyadong maraming options, guys.
That's going to wrap up today's episode. Thank you for listening. If you like this episode, please share it to someone you think will like it too. If you would like to share any feedback or stories, or if you have any questions, you may reach me at theboardgamerph@gmail.com. You may also find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/theboardgamerph and on Instagram at theboardgamerph. If you want to hear more stuff from me, I have another podcast called Peaked, which talks about random interesting things. So please do check that out if you want to. So that's it for today, guys. Say bye.
Bye!
Bye!
Sana may
See you
napulot kayo at may
again.
bibilin kayong board game.
Yes, and if you want to share your own top 3 party games, please do send that
Comment
via
down below.
and please send that through email, and we can actually talk about it in our future episode.
Yeah, malay nyo meron kayong board game, party game na gusto tas di pa namin nalalaro.
Yep,
So that's very
It's very interesting, yes. So, or if you would like to correct us in our definition of what a party game is, please do just share that definition to us. Okay, so thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye!
Bye-bye!